Welcome, fellow mystics, fellow light workers, and heart friends. From the heart of God, I give you greetings. Thank you for coming. Thank you for all your spiritual work that you do. Thank you for magnetizing more light on earth, more love, more kindness. Through every prayer, through every thoughtful, mindful action, we are creating a golden age, an age of such beauty that the Lord Christ envisioned when he named the New Jerusalem, the city of gold, the city of peace. We are co-creators. And when we own that concept, when we get it, there is a shift that happens in the soul where the angels will recognize a light has been turned on planet Earth. And this is one that will hold the light, emanate the light, love the light. And that is our charge from the Lord God Almighty. And it is a path of joy, because when we are filled with light, we are the hope of the world. We are the light of the world. And we change the frequencies of those around us. We stand against the mass consciousness of ignorance and fear and transform it into peace and love. And it dissolves quite effortlessly by the power of light and the power of love. So this is our Tuesday meditation, where we sit in the presence of God. And we hold that within our hearts and minds, and we set this intention to go to the throne of the Most High. In this place is a portal, a bridge between heaven and earth, a place where you can see with the spiritual eye, a place that you can feel the presence of the angels ascending and descending up and down the ladder. It is a place where the very ground is saturated and anointed by the masters and the angels. Drink it in. So before we begin this short meditation, I will do a invocation, and then we'll start this meditation. And just join with me in spirit as we join our hearts and we align ourselves with the highest and the best and the highest heaven. Heavenly Father, Divine Mother, Spirit of the living God, O Holy Christ and Buddhas of heaven, the I am that I am, the fire, the all-consuming flame, the eternal flame of God. O Holy Spirit, fill this temple with your presence. Fill this temple with your perfume, your electricity, and your fire. Touch each one with a new vision, a new sense of holiness, a new power that they can share with all mankind. We call to all the saints in heaven, the saints robed in white, to all the angels, archangels, cherubim and seraphim, who serve the Lord God Almighty, to take this light that we will bring in and emanate out to all mankind. We see the earth happy, whole, clear, Christ aware. We see the earth as you see it in your grand design. Bring heaven to earth this day through your sons and daughters. Through us we surrender. For those of you who are new, this is a stillness meditation. If you still your body, you can still your mind. We'll create an energy field of absolute stillness in this room. And once we have achieved that level of stillness, stay very aware, very present to what is happening in this room as a light. A holy light will fill this temple. You don't want to miss it. You want to see it. So now with all your strength and all your will and all that you are, go into the heart of God. Go into the presence and rest. coming back. Keep your eyes closed for a few more moments as we anchor the light received into our forms, into our heart of hearts, into the higher mental body, where we understand the language of the light. Beyond words, pure frequency. And as the Divine Mother touches each heart, we can feel her love for mankind, her love for each person, her love for all life, her love for the Father. And we stand together in spirit before the throne of God, sitting outside time and space, yet with these bodies, we can be her voice, her gentle touch, her kind words, her amazing wisdom. And let's anchor all that in all of our spiritual bodies, and even in the physical, as we choose this day to be love in action, peace in action, the embodiment of Christ the crystal clear light of God. And now just breathe it in. And the golden air and the golden light that is around you changes your very form. A type of transfiguration, of drinking in so much light. And when you're ready, feel the earth with your feet and open your eyes. Welcome back, everyone, from your spiritual journey into pure spirit, into source. It always amazes me how much love fills this room during these meditations. It's just, and that energy itself is the Divine Mother. That is her living presence. I want to welcome everyone to our workshop today, or talk, by Rebecca Wright. And the title is Discovering Your Vision, which is really meaningful for me because I live by visions. Is there a dream that you have forgotten or set aside? Is there an area of your life where you would like to see improvement? Join me for an evening unlocking the value of your dreams and discovering your vision. You may notice a gem of an idea just waiting for your attention. Rebecca is a certified Life Mastery consultant with the Life Mastery Institute. Rebecca Wright can help you design and manifest a life that is in harmony with your soul's purpose. For 45 years, Rebecca has worked with the Christward Ministry at Quest Haven Retreat. Her work has included coaching fellowship members and assisting with their services and retreats. With a biology degree from UCSD and a pharmaceutical what is that? It's a doctorate in pharmacy. Pharmaceutical degree, a pharm degree from USC. Rebecca has spent over 25 years as a pharmacist consulting community and specialty pharmacy patients. With her unique blend of science and spiritual background, Rebecca Wright offers inspiring and heartfelt workshops, as well as transforming coaching programs that help clients achieve new heights of success, meaning, and spiritual awareness. Welcome, Rebecca. I would just like to add my probably 9 years of being at Quest Haven and seeing you do the opening prayers and many things, and watching the light of the Holy Spirit shine on your face at the podium there, and feeling your words as living words charged with spirit. And such an honor for you to be here with me and to give us some insights of your spiritual journey and what you do. And thank you, Randy, who, I don't know if I'll put the camera on Randy here for a minute. Say hi, Randy. Hi. To all the heart friends out there who know you, who've come to Quest Haven during a retreat a few years ago. Randy was a wonderful representative. Thank you, Rebecca, and I think I'll hand it over to you.
Thank you, Dennis. And thank you, everyone, for coming and sharing this time and space. This is wonderful. And thank you to everybody online as well. And so, yes, this is a vision workshop presentation. And you did make a great decision coming here tonight. We have lots to discuss. And during these extraordinary times, we're given much to ponder. We're living in an amazing, unusual time, a virtual crossroads between the past and the future. And maybe even you're changing from one career to another with what's going on today. we were thrust into a new reality of instability on a path with an unknown destination and a changing timeline. And at times it seems like humanity entered a new reality that did not seem possible just a few months before. And we're now in a time of reevaluation of our beliefs, our values, and in this workshop, I invite you to think about your vision and your dreams and to what may be calling you. And it may be something new and different now than the dreams that you held before. So now tonight as we start, I usually recommend that you have paper and pencil, or a pen, but if you also just want to use your cell phone to make notes, that's fine too. It's just a few words at a time where you may want to jot something down or as a reminder. Oh, that's perfect. Thank you. So my intention for tonight is that you leave this gathering knowing 3 dream building tools that can help you find and achieve your vision and your dreams. That you have a greater clarity of what those dreams are, and that you feel even more confident in the power that lives in you to achieve your vision and dreams. So to begin, I'll share with you a modern day fable, an allegory tale, to help illustrate the need to look at our choices in this journey, taking that first step toward our vision. And this is just a quick story that was written by Price Pritchett in a little book called U Squared. And he is giving the story, it's a true story, of when he was at a Canadian inn and went in for a meal, and just a few feet away was a life and death struggle going on. And turns out it was a little fly just trying to get through a pane of glass, just desperately trying to get outside. And he could hear the whine of its little wings as it was just trying harder and harder. And you could tell that the little fly was just thinking, if I just try harder, I can get through this barrier out into what is looking like it's just beyond. And there's just this invisible barrier that's keeping me from getting there. And as the fly kept trying harder and harder, of course, it was tiring itself out. And in the heat of the sun, it was a futile adventure. Now, just 10 feet away was an open door. And if this little fly had just thought about changing its mind, changing its trajectory, changing its direction, it could have been in 10 seconds out into the world that it was seeking. But it was so intent and staying just so narrowly focused into the one trajectory that it actually cost this little fly its life, because the heat eventually overcame it and its life was done. So Price Pritchett then comments at the end of this tale that it's a reflection on all of life itself, that trying harder isn't necessarily the solution to achieving more, and that it may not offer any real promise for getting what you want out of life. Sometimes, in fact, it's a big part of the problem. And if you stake your hopes for a breakthrough on trying harder than ever, you may kill your chances for success. The story, of course, represents the struggle we've all experienced, and something standing in the way of where we want to be. And we think, or we're told, just try harder. You're not trying hard enough, right? So perhaps right now there's something standing between you and what you're dreaming of, what you want. And there is a better solution that uses tools, and clarity just beyond what common sense or conventional thinking would allow. So if you're alive, of course you have challenges, and knowing the steps to success will help you overcome any difficulty that you're facing. There is a system, a pattern, a way of doing things that does create the results you want. And once you understand what that system is, you can apply it to any area of your life. Now, how many of you have ever had a goal or a dream in your life that when you first had that goal, you didn't know how you were going to achieve it, but somehow you did? So you see, you're capable of far more than you know. And often our dreams and goals are born out of the challenges that we're facing, or from the pain that we're currently experiencing. And many of you may have a challenge that you're currently experiencing, some area of life that's causing you pain or discomfort. So raise your hands if you would really love to have that problem solved. Of course. Now we live in a universe that speaks to us through two growth signals. Longings, our longings, and our discontents. The feeling of longing for something we haven't yet created or achieved, and the feeling of discontentment with current circumstances. Now both of these are what spark us to grow. We can be pulled by vision or pushed by pain, and these two energies, the pain of a problem or the burning desire of what you want, what you're trying to achieve, are both essential for creating new results. So let me share a time in my life where pain pushed me to make a change. And this was several decades ago, where I was at an intersection, a stoplight. I looked across the intersection and I saw a car that I recognized. And in that car was my husband, not this husband, another husband. And next to my husband was seated a woman. And I knew who that woman was. And I knew instantly there was trouble. So that evening, I did confront my husband, and we had an intense discussion about what this meant for the marriage, and there was much arguing, finger-pointing, things being discussed in a lively manner. And in the middle of this argument, there was a still small voice in me that said, "Rebecca, you don't have to do this." But I was so embroiled in this argument. I knew that I needed to get my point across and kept on arguing. And then again, the voice, "Rebecca, you don't need to do this." And I listened. I decided to listen to that still small voice, and I let it guide me into a new future. My longing and discontent had come into full, clear focus. And I made the decision for a better life. And it was scary. It was uncomfortable. And it was inconvenient. I didn't know how I was going to provide for myself. I had left my job and had no idea how I was going to make money, where I was going to live, but I just knew that this was the decision that was the right one to make. And I chose to make a better life. And a few years later, after the divorce, after I had embarked on a new career, I met the love of my life. And we've been married 23 years. So, and why does this matter to you? Because just like my dream of the ideal relationship, your dreams are possible. And whether it's about relationships or something else, something like health or wealth, vocation, free time, all of these things are important to all of us. And if there's one of those areas in particular that you want to improve, I can help you. And I'll explain more about that later. But do remember, these dreams are possible. Not only are they possible, they're waiting for you. And so now, what is your next dream? What is your big vision? Because I know there is one for each of you. In the Dream Builder program, there are 10 principles that can skyrocket your success when you apply them to your life. And today you'll learn 3 of these principles that you can apply right now to help you create a life that you love. So if you're in for the possibility of creating something even more amazing in your life, touch your heart and say, I'm in. I'm in. And here's my promise to you. Now that you are on your way toward what you love, I'll give you everything I can in the time we have together here. And at the end of the presentation, many of you will want to take this information further and integrate it into your life. So for you, I do have a special gift that you're going to love that I will mention at the end of this presentation. But for now, let's dive in and expand our awareness together by studying what we call the results formula. So many of you already know that your thoughts cause feelings, and that those feelings, those vibrations, can be either joyful or stressful. So the feelings are the frequency patterns that lead to actions, that lead to joyful vibrations, of course. They put a smile on your face. They make you feel uplifted. They guide you into beautiful meditation like the one we've just come through. And so, of course, that's the space that we all want to be, because we are luminous light beings having a physical experience. And that's where we all want to be all the time. But there are some times when our thoughts drop into a lower frequency. That's part of the human condition. And if you do have a stressful thought, then of course, you can either feel stress in your shoulders or in your stomach or, somewhere in your body, and you are less likely to be productive, less likely to move with ideas, with those constricted feelings leading to that lower frequency. And then whether your thoughts and your feelings are in that higher vibration or if they're in the lower vibration, either way, they will cause actions. And those actions will also be in either the higher or the lower frequency. And that can be apparent either immediately or they can be spread out over time. But just to recap, your thoughts have a direct cause to your feelings, and then your feelings can give feedback to your thoughts. So your thoughts and your feelings can either raise or lower your vibration just by the interplay between the two of them. And then from that leads to actions or inaction, and then leads to results. So in this group, I know that this is not a new idea, but if it happens to be a new idea for any of you online, you may find or start noticing in your life how true this is. Just kind of observe it and see what comes about. So now this brings us to the first step in dream building that I mentioned before, designing a dream, a vision. And we ask that question, what would you love? What would you love for your life? Now, I'm not talking about goals, things that we already know how we can bring them about. This is more of an intangible, something that you would really love. Like, say if you had no restrictions on money, time, physical existence as you know it, what would you love? Is there some forgotten dream? Is there a question in your mind that you may have believed that dreams and visions may be something for others, but not possible or practical for you? Well, I'll tell you, studies have shown that people near the end of their life did not regret what they've done because they figured all that out. The one thing that they did regret was what they passed on, what they didn't do, the dream that they left behind. And so it was something that they passed by for one reason or another. So ask yourself this deep question. If money, time, or any limitation was not an issue, what would you love for your life? So think of just 2 to 3 words that describe the domain of your dream perhaps more income, less stress, some great work environment, finding love, enjoying vibrant health where you're just ready to throw off the covers and jump out of bed and get ready and go for that new day. Or if now, is there a cause, a charity, something that you hadn't noticed until this year that all of a sudden now is a possibility of a dream for you, a higher calling? So ask yourself, what dream makes you come alive? And just take 30 seconds to note that in your cell phone or write it down on paper. And also write these words: clarity is power. So think of the dream that you would love, a dream that you have let slip by up until now. So imagine if your dream was a home, a dream home that you had always wanted to build. And just as you can't just go to your builder and say, build me my dream, you have to have a clear blueprint. You'd have to have specific parameters as to how many bedrooms, bathrooms, if it's a large, expansive house, or if it's a cozy, small house, if it's near the beach or a lake, if it's up in the mountains. And the same is true with your dream. If it's not a tangible dream, like a home, you still, when you're thinking of it, need to create pictures around that dream. Say if it's a relationship. Do you picture you and your loved one hand in hand walking down the beach with the smell of that salt air, the crunch of the sand under your feet, the sound of the waves on the shore, the wind caressing your face? Say if you wanted to open a restaurant, that was your big dream. Can you smell those spices and herbs, those wonderful ingredients, making a dish that's so enticing that people just flock to your establishment to partake in that nourishment? Say if it's health. Do you feel that energy just rushing through your body and you're so alive? You're so energetic. You've had just such a great night's sleep. Can you picture that? And picture how when you're waking up in the morning, that joyousness that you feel. So now, next to your dream, I invite you to write these words: I am so happy and grateful that. So just those 7 words are really important. I am so happy and grateful. Actually, now that. And you may have heard this before, but I invite you to go ahead and do it again. So take a deep breath through your nose. You can close your eyes if you wish. And then blow out gently as if through a straw, through your mouth. And again. You're signaling to your body to be in that parasympathetic state where you can rest, digest, and create. And now in this state, imagine it's 3 years from now. It's October of 2023. and everything has worked out. All the challenges are solved. And in 2023, what would your life look like with your vision now in place? What's happening in this area of your life that you've selected? Whether health or money, vocation, and if you're retired, it's still what do you do with your time? What do you choose to put your energy towards? Have you found the love of your life? What is happening in this area of life that you've selected? And you've waved that magic wand, and what great things are occurring for you. What would you love to be doing? What are you doing in 2023? And what is yourself in 2023 telling you about what's happened in just 3 years? What experiences are you having? Who are you with? See it. Is there a sound with this vision? How does it feel to you? Use those 5 senses. Is there scent? Is there sound? And of course you are seeing. And what are you feeling around you? Is it warm? Is it cool? Are you outside or inside? So now open your eyes, and in the next 2 minutes, just write down as much as you can, painting that beautiful picture of what you're imagining. So in 2023, how do you describe what's around you? Who are you with? What does it sound like? What are the scents that you can sense in the air? So giving you just a few more seconds. And remember, you can come back to this. You can always remember it to be continued, which we do with our visions and our dreams. From different perspectives, we see how they could be refined and made more beautiful. So nicely done. We're on our way. This is the beginning of designing the life you love. And you might not know how this dream is going to happen, but that's okay for now. Great dream builders are willing to suspend the need to know the how. And at the beginning of the process, don't worry, we'll get there. So now the second principle for deciding for your dream, making that decision, and it's a firm decision. Just like when I was in the middle of the argument, and I just was able to turn it on a dime and just make that firm decision. What would be better? What would be the best for my forward journey? And even in the absence of perfect conditions, as you heard about, a whole manner of things begin. And that's what happened to a client named Judy. Judy was a wonderful woman. She lived in a very small apartment with 2 small children. And she was a fast food worker by day, and at night she would bring in clothes for extra income. But Judy was driven by her dreams and her also pushed by her discontent. And she got a coach. And she said to coach, I want a home. I don't want to stay in this little apartment, 1-bedroom apartment forever. This isn't right. I have 2 children. We all need space and privacy. So her coach worked with her, and she said, I want you to describe the home that you are dreaming of, the vision of your home. And then we'll work on that. And so Judy did. And she came back and said, I know exactly what I want. I want a picket fence around my home. I want a large yard that possibly I could have a dog in there. And I want a fireplace. And I want a nice kitchen where it has a window where I can look out into the yard and see the children playing with the dog. And I want this to be a freestanding home, but I can only pay $500 a month. And I know I can't have it with only that much. And the coach said, well, okay, that's all right. We're not knowing the how, but we know what you want. And so the next step for you, I want you to drive around in the area where you would like to live and just see if this building is in three-dimensional existence. And just tell me if you find what you think is a good match for your vision. So Judy did. She had more details that I won't go into, but those were the main ones. And then she came back and she said, I found it. And it's for lease, but it's for lease for $900. And I only have $500 a month. And now I'm sad because I can see it, but I can't afford it. And the coach said to Judy, if you didn't know it was impossible and you really thought there was a chance, what would you do? If you really thought there was a chance and it was not impossible, what would you do? Think about this now, and then we'll be in touch. So Judy pondered it. She went home. She just started writing. She tried to write ideas that might work. And then she called up her coach and she said, I've come up with a plan. Not only have I come up with a plan, I've acted on it. I wrote the landlord and I said, there are 40 things that I could fix because it was an older house. She said, on your older house, I will fix 40 things if you provide the materials, and I will have those done within a year if you let me rent the home for $500 each. And she sent this letter to the landlord, and she got a call from the landlord, and he said to her, I don't know why I'm doing this. I already have 2 people who would pay full price. There's something about your letter that struck me. And so, okay, I will meet with you every quarter. And if you can show me that you have done 10 things on those lists, fix them with all the materials that I provide, then yes, I will let you live in this house for $500 a month for a year. And so Judy was so excited. She called her coach and she said, we're moving in 2 weeks. And the house had the 3 bedrooms, so everybody had their own bedroom. They had privacy, and she did get a dog. And it just is an example of, yes, you have the vision, you make the decision, you have it so in touch with your vibration, and you bring your vibration up to achieving what that vision holds for you. Because if Judy had just been at her original, oh, poor me, oh, that wasn't going to happen. But she raised up and allowed herself to be at that vibration where, yes, she could have the home of her vision. And so even in the absence of perfect conditions, she used the ideas from the infinite, sourced from the infinite. She had no idea about this until she actually worked it. And then coached by her coach. And she did what she could with what she had. And Judy's dream became tangible reality. And so today, what about your dreams? And it starts with making that decision. That you decide, I'm going after my dream. Saying no to the doubts and the reasons that it won't work. Yes to the possibility and the opportunities. To suspend belief in conditions. And instead believing in the power breathing you. Because this group especially, I know that you know that it's the infinite. It's God that breathes us. Sure, our bodies can inhale and exhale, but who initiates that breath? It's the infinite. It's God. It's God breathing through your luminous light being into your physical form, into your earth suit, we call it, into your being that's having a physical experience. Not only your breath, but your heartbeat. You know that each beat of your heart starts with an electrical spark. It's God that gives you that electrical spark. God sparks you so many times a day. God breathes in life-giving oxygen into you so many times a day. And most of the time we don't even think about it. And so now, coming to the third principle that I want to discuss with you tonight, is that you can do something, you can act towards your vision even when fear rises up. And in fact, great dream building requires the ability to suspend knowing the how and to take action in the absences of all the answers. So after you get that enthusiasm, yeah, I'm going to go for it. I've got this fantastic dream. I'm ready. Often, that little fear comes in and creeps up and says, yeah, right. Well, how are you going to do that? And who do you think you are? And even you don't have what it takes to do this great vision. And these aren't even just from us. Sometimes it's our friends or our family. Very well-meaning. They just want to keep us from being embarrassed or keep us from failing, keep us from feeling bad about not achieving it. But that's just the voice of fear that wants to keep you from getting hurt. And it doesn't matter if it's from yourself or from friends or family. Just recognize it and know that this is just part of the process. Testing your resolve for your vision, and also seeing if you will just use it as a stepping stone to get beyond the fear, and testing your resolve. And so what even if you did have a failure in that process? We've all had failures in life. We've all lived to tell the tale. And fear and failure are actually prerequisites for achieving great dreams. Take, for instance, Thomas Edison. Thomas Edison tried to invent the incandescent light bulb over 1,000 times. 1,000 experiments before he was successful. And he never stopped through that whole process. Even after he had built it and had given it to his assistant to carry up the stairs where they were going to put electricity to it and test it, the young assistant dropped it. And it broke and shattered. Not to be deterred, Thomas Edison said, we'll do it again. We'll get a new one. And to his credit, he gave it to the same young assistant to take it up the stairs. And that assistant, of course, was successful that time. So when the voice of doubt questions you and asks you, what if I fail? Let your response be, if I fail, I will rise up, I will keep going, and I will succeed. And remember, the choices and the actions that you take today ultimately show you who you will become tomorrow, and that is who you will grow into. And as you are all aware, we are growing every day. We're growing into the life that we are meant to be, the person that we are meant to be on our path towards mastery of life. And it is a long process sometimes, but that's okay. We're learning, we're growing, we're doing, we're making those decisions. We have the vision, and we step on our fears like stepping stones into the person that we are meant to become. So no matter where you are in this lifetime, let these 3 steps that you learned propel you to realize that dream. Be an inspiration to go for that vision. because your visions don't stop with what you have now. Your visions are still coming to you. Your visions are still appearing to you, driving you forward. And so if you've had that vision that you've just had for a few minutes or a few days, or if you've had it for decades, these are just 3 of those steps that will propel you towards that vision to your success. It's just a snapshot of what the Dream Builder program is. And I hope that they were helpful for you. Yes? Thank you. So as I promised, I do have a gift for those of you who would like to explore this a little further. And after that, we'll close with a powerful thought. But first, I just want to recap on principle number 1, designing a dream. What would you love? And define that dream with the power of clarity and detail. And then take principle number 2, the power of decision. Just as Judy decided for her dream home, her thinking shifted toward creative, immediate action. And then number 3, befriending your fear. Treating fear as a stepping stone towards your dream success. And then the gift that I promised you is that I do carve out some time each week for strategy sessions for folks that do want to work with me further. And these are 30 to 45 minute conversations, either over the phone or on Skype, where we can get a clear indication if we can work well together, get clear on what your dream is and how I can help you. And then we'll get into the next most important step that you can take towards the direction of your vision. So if you're ready to invest in achieving your dream, then this strategy session I'll give to you at no charge, and then we will go on towards your vision. And at the moment, I do have some strategy sessions available right now, and to request that, just text me at the phone number 760-505-0512, and I just need to have you text on that message your name, your phone number, and your email address. So all 3 are important, especially your name. A lot of folks just text their number, but you do need to remember your name so I know who you are, and your phone number and your email address. Oh yes, absolutely. So the phone number 760-505-0512. And just remember your name, your phone number, and your email address, and I will get in touch with you. So do please text me as soon as possible, because the sessions do fill up, and they fill up fast once they get going. And I'm so looking forward to working with you. There is more good news about Judy, by the way. Judy once sat where you were sitting, or virtually sitting, and after moving into the house, she was able to quit her work as a fast food employee, and she was able to take in so much work with her sewing career that she ended up having an alteration business. With that alteration business, in 3 years, the owner of the home decided to sell it, and she was able to buy the home. So she not only had her dream home, she owned it. So it's very, very wonderful end to that vision that she had in the beginning. So remember, know what is inside you is far greater than any challenge you're facing. That you have incredible power within you, and that this is your moment. Today is your day to take bold action towards your vision. And as you visualize and take action, good things are waiting for you. The philosopher Goethe said, at the moment of commitment, the universe conspires to assist you. So as you take that bold step, know that you have the entire universe cheering you on, giving you things that you never noticed before. Once you make that commitment to a vision, to what you dream, to what God has in plan for your incarnation. And it's time to make that commitment for your soul's purpose, here in this incarnation. I applaud you, and have fun. Have your greatest adventure. And let me help you become a dream builder if that is our purpose together. I would love to.
Does anybody have any questions for Rebecca or comments? I can just say for myself, I love your voice. It's so soothing and so relaxing. I was feeling so comfortable.
Great.
And I remember Lady Clarity loved to do dream building.
Ah,
She did a lot of that, those kind of workshops. And she was an expert at it.
nice.
So
So the work continues.
yes. Co-creating. It's just such a powerful, there are formulas. And Saint Germain has talked about these formulas on how to bring things into reality. And I think you articulated the metaphysics of it. And what do you love? Anything that you love, you can bring into reality. And that is the magic of co-creation, isn't it?
It is.
So,
And I think
visualizing in the third eye, Yogananda talked about how you can see with the spiritual eye. And that brings it. And you have vision and love put together, you have created another reality.
it's a powerful force.
Right. So that's a beautiful, beautiful thing that you're offering humanity to help with that. And everyone online, I'm sure, knows that you're quite a powerful dream builder yourself and coach.
The thing is, everyone has that capability, and often we're not trained to pursue it. And it's such a shame because we are far more capable of what we normally employ ourselves to do. And this is each on our own paths. God has given us power to visualize, to have a vision, and then to follow through and create God's reality here on earth. And so I know with this group, I really appreciate being with this group because I'm in such good company. And you all know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah. So I think we'll have this video on its own little thing, and I'll send you a link to it. So your presentation is separated from the meditation in a few days. And you can send that also as maybe a introduction to people interested. We have your phone number. Do you want to give the people online your email address or not really?
I'll have a new email address.
That you can give me, and I'll add it
yeah.
to the in the context of the video,
Right.
the details of the video, the
Right.
information. Okay.
Yeah, so that'll be coming out very shortly.
Has anybody any comments or any? Chloe?
Thank you, Rebecca. That was really lovely. I really appreciated everything you shared. I think as soon as you started speaking, or is it a point when you were talking about the senses and try to imagine senses, I just remembered a experience that I had, and I didn't understand why. I took on this job at a golf course. It had nothing to do with what I was trained to do, or using my skills or anything. It did not make sense, but I just made it a purpose to really enjoy it and enjoy every minute of it. And the experience led into me manifesting a home that overlooked a golf course. And had a beautiful balcony overlooking the golf course. And I just realized why that happened. So yeah,
there are so many stories that are like that, what happens.
Yeah. And I wouldn't have like forced myself to go out and explore different, ways of living if I hadn't had that experience. So it's a good trick to just maybe get out in real life and touch, taste, sense, feel the experience you're trying to create. So,
yes. Very nice. Thank you for sharing. And then about the 2023 vision, I'm not sure if I said this during the talk, but when you're imagining yourself in that 2023 vision, when you say things to yourself, say, I am now in 2023. And like, say if you wanted that home before you knew about it, but you were just visualizing it, say to yourself, I am so happy that I am now in this home, or in a relationship. I am so happy that I am now walking down the beach. I can see myself walking down the beach hand in hand with my sweetie. So that's how the subconscious actually helps you, because the subconscious is part of this process. That our subconscious and our feelings actually are very much embedded into the subconscious. And so when we feel those feelings in that state of now, right now, then that really makes it so much more powerful and so much more effective. But I really appreciate your story. That is so great.
I've been teaching my own form for over 50 years, and it really, really, really works, but you have to use it. That's the thing. You really have to use it. And I'm really glad you talked about putting the details in, because, for instance, if you're manifesting a new home, you want to see your furniture in it, yourself in it, your children in it if you have children. So as real as you can make it is a key. So I'm really glad you
Yes. And for Judy, she even thought about a Thanksgiving dinner. How people, when they walk into the house, they smell that lovely smell. She had everything detailed out. And I think that's what made her dream so powerful.
Right, exactly. Details.
Yeah.
Yep. Thank you. It was lovely.
Thank you.
The other idea of having a coach or having a mastermind alliance, because when two or more people are together, two people coming together, it's double the voltage. Three people, it's triple the voltage. When we have a group of people like this, the room becomes electric with the presence of God. So when you're coaching, when you have a personal coach or you have someone, the power of having that in your world to create accelerates it. And I can tell by listening to you that if the people that you'll be coaching, it's going to triple. You have such a power of the Divine Mother in you, and bringing co-creation into time and space. So in the Heart Center movement, one of the big things that the group, the collective, is working on is having like a retreat facility. And because we have limited funds, because we're a very small group compared to other groups, and we don't have a gold mine like some of the other Saint Germain organizations have, where the master came and told them, dig here, there's some gold, and that's going to fund you for the next 1,000 years. And so the I Am movement had a gold mine that they could just draw upon like that. Of course, Saint Germain was also a big precipitator. He talked about removing flaws by seeing the perfection in the stone, seeing it without any flaws, and seeing it with the power of love. Because he said in his book that love is the key to every alchemical formula. So Mastermind Alliance is when you get more and more people. So the vision of the Heart Center to have this golden crystal age community, with as it's articulated in their vision and dreams that they say every morning in their morning prayers, is a wonderful way of doing exactly that too, with the collective, having it repeat your dream out loud with love, and then surrendering it to God to bring it in His own time and perfect. And I think Flower was a wonderful example of co-creator, with finding the perfect retreat place and buying the property the way she did, and the story behind that. It's a wonderful story. So it is 9:00, and with that, would you like to do the closing prayer for us?
Oh, sure. Thank you.
And then seal this service and the brotherhood and the sisterhood in the family of God. And we'll just join with you in spirit.
Holy Creator, our Mother, Father, God, Spirit, Creator of life and love, the one beating each of our hearts, opening every flower, loving the entire planet, every atom of every creature on this planet, every stone, every tree, and we thank Thee, God, that You have placed some of Your essence, God essence, within each of us. We rejoice being able to join up with Thee, join into the light, the love, and to pull that remembrance of Thee into our consciousness, into what we say, what we do, and how we love each other. We thank Thee for this place, this sacred time together. And now may we go forth in joy, remembrance of Thee, and love with all that You love here on earth and in the universe completely. In the name of Christ, in the name of Mother Mary, the Spirit of grace and mercy, the Spirit of truth and wisdom, and all the angels that bless us, heal us, transform us, and give us their love and protection. We thank Thee. Amen.
God bless you all. Thank you for participating. If you would like to get a hold of Rebecca and you didn't get the phone number, you can contact me and I will get you in touch with her. We'll have a flyer or something later on. Tomorrow I'll be broadcasting again at 7:30 for the Divine Mother Rosary, the Loving Affirmations, and a special honoring of David. Be sure to watch that. I think and feel a special light is coming tomorrow. Good night, everyone, and God bless you.